welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G, and with me, as always, is BRL, NWL, and IWAR Commissioner, Matt Riley. Hey, Matt, looks like we're doing this old school style, just the two of us.
That's right. I managed, so we forced them all out. Luke's in the international waters, assassinating would-be warlords. Larry's
he's definitely on a pirate ship right now.
Yeah. Larry's fighting his contractor. Derek's prepping for school, probably doing some sit-ups, getting pumped up.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's not that many ladies. I think there's only two, actually. And gentlemen, every Tuesday night, you do have the ability to come on and chat with us and talk with us and be a guest on our various programming that we have if you so choose to. That option is available. We do this every Tuesday at 11 p.m. So, reach out to Matt, reach out to myself if you want to come on board, if you want to talk, you want to bullshit, you want to bitch and moan, complain about something. If you want to talk strategy or TT and match write-ups or storylines and that kind of stuff, or how to do stuff and ask us questions, we're making ourselves available, and this is every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. So
a little behind the scenes note, it's 12:45 right now.
Well, yeah, we were.
We've been shooting the shit for like an hour and a half, so
yeah, we were making.
Then you're gonna take a piss break, and you're gonna back, and then you're gonna rant some more, and throw somebody, like throw Larry under the bus.
We didn't even make fun of Larry though this time.
You don't mess with Larry. He's pissed his contract. He'll be killing people. So.
I know.
Feel bad for him.
We didn't even make fun of Ryan. We'll make fun of him throughout the show.
Yeah, Ryan didn't get his. So. F that guy.
He'll get made fun of throughout the show, as always.
We're gonna play the game of how fast can I lose my temper.
So, guys, since this is a very special episode, possibly an expanded episode here that you're listening to
on a very special IWAR Tubecast. Fresh Prince.
This is where Matt and Alex goes to the bicycle shop.
Oh,
and Matt,
you're not gonna get shot by the gang member, and I gotta go cry and get a gun. Go, man.
My favorite very special episode, not to go off topic, is the one where Nancy Reagan appears on Different Strokes. And apparently Arnold, all his classmates smoke crack, and he was not aware of this. And the kid who plays Sylvester Stallone's son in the movie Over the Top is the drug dealer. So
wow,
it's a very good episode.
I will tell you that my three most traumatizing special episodes that was one of them. Another was Growing Pains, when his sister's boyfriend, which was played by Matthew Perry, passes away after a car crash.
They did it fucked up. Like, she just gets home and she's all happy he's going to live, and then she gets the phone call, he's dead.
He's dead. And they're like,
how about Mr. Belvedere, where that ugly-looking kid, I forget his name, Wesley, his friend has AIDS?
God. Well, I will say then the third most traumatizing was ER. And it was the episode, the Valentine's episode, where I forget the doctor's name, but Noah something played him. And he gets stabbed by the bad guy. As he's walking in this room, he gets stabbed 3 times in the back. And you're like, holy shit. And he falls down, and he's looking under the bed, and he looks over, and he sees Lucy bleeding to death. And it's like, holy fuck. Anyways, sorry, that was just a quick side topic.
Sure that wasn't Invader number 2 who did that?
He killed him. My God damn it, he killed him. Anyways, getting back on topic, I guess. So this is a very special episode. We're going to talk about a lot of special topics, including the long-awaited awards.
I think because people are going to kill us, we probably should actually start with that.
Do you want to do the IWAR wide stuff first, or do you want to? What do you want to do?
Let's do the awards first, right. And let's not make the people wait here.
All right, I'll pull up the spreadsheet.
I won them all. So.
That's right. The awards were won.
We don't actually count people's votes. We just make it up as we go along, right, guys? Yeah,
it's much easier that way.
Just kidding.
I have all the awards here, and as I say every year, this is one of the more grueling tasks because I write little mini write-ups for every winner, and it takes a lot of time, and it's trying to capture a year's worth of activity. And just kind of preface this, we asked people for nominations back in October and November, and people took their time. So everything got delayed because the nominations came in slowly. And I always tell people, please, the nominations help us build the lists for the actual vote. We had a good turnout. Most of our leagues got like 18 to 20 votes, which is really good. So thank you to everybody who voted. And I always jokingly say thank you to the friends who were like, "You want me to vote for who?" Because like I remember one day, like one particular wrestler nominee got like 7 votes. And I'll just tell you, it happens, but not in like the span of 6 hours. That's a little shady, but I don't care. It's fun. We'll make it fun. So these were voted on by you, the players. When I get to the Rookie of the Year awards, I'll talk about that because we treat it a little bit differently than the other awards. And one of the lessons we learned as kind of a preface is, let's say for sake of argument that like Tyler Dresden won like Wrestler of the Year, most popular wrestler, inspirational wrestler. Like we tried to break it up so more people win. It's a better reflection of the year as a whole. So remember that if you didn't win, don't get too down. Certain awards are won by merit. Other awards are won by vote.
If you didn't win, it means we don't like you, and we want you to go away.
Right. Yeah, Catfish Rob, you bum.
Wow. People's governments out there like that.
Trying to think of the nicest guy possible. All right, so we will start ladies first. How's that sound?
The way I live my life.
That's right. And a quick side note, you mentioned earlier about two women players. I know of at least 6 women players. So there's Becky.
Not reflected in our YouTube metrics, by the way. It's
no, I'm sure it's probably terrible. Natalie, Stephanie, another Natalie, Nikki, and Mika and Becky. So yeah, I mean, there's out there. Anyways, welcome to you, all ladies who are listening. And if you stumbled upon this, and you're like,
ladies' night, and just I feel all right. And ladies' night, oh what a night. Sorry.
Wow, that's what I call.
As I get a copyright fucking strike now.
Covers are okay, by the way. All right, so women's awards. So we're going to start at the top. The Women's Wrestler of the Year with 110 points, 1 league title, 2 TV titles, and 1 regional, Becky North. Nice. And I should also mention that outside the IWAR, Becky North just won the IWA Women's Championship and IWA Queen of the Ring. So congratulations to Becky Lipoff.
Make sure you get that on the cover, Matt.
I'm going to bump Joe Boring off the cover. I was going to go with Joe Boring.
Just do a double cover. And call
it Becky North won. I got to bump her off. If she'd won, whatever. Anyways. All right.
She'd been one of those like gatefold covers, like from back in the days.
Okay. So Rookie of the Year. Just so you know, we don't do tag team and 6-man for women's. We don't have the championships for that, so we don't do that. Maybe someday. Rookie of the Year was Natalie Nightmare with 100 points from 4 TV titles in the NWL. And I was really pulling for her. I'm actually trying to get her back. She kind of went inactive, and I'm trying to get her back. She was a good player, active, and she had a great little feud with Frankie Cecchino, who kept punching her in the face.
I know his face.
Frankie's not a nice guy. Frankie's a jerk. We'll talk more about Frankie later. The Women's Manager of the Year, or Women Division Manager of the Year, is Rob Lawson with Lady Swine out of the BBL, who won multiple IWA 6-man championships as part of the Pig Protection Agency. Yes, say that right 3 times. Pig Protection Agency. So congrats, Rob. All right, popular wrestler, Wildfire Betty Red, who went on and became the very first IWAR Women's World Champion when she defeated Tiamat. So congrats to Betty Red.
By cheating.
Well, Catfish Rob is in there. He's using his guitar. The most hated woman wrestler, once again, was Barb Dwyer, the Maniac. She's sort of like a good-looking Abdul the Butcher. So.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
I'm sorry. Inspirational wrestler was Becky North, who's been chasing the IWAR Women's Championship. She hasn't won it yet, but she keeps getting closer and closer. So the fans are pulling for Becky North. Feud of the Year was Beautiful Brittany Massacre versus Barb Dwyer. And that was another bloody feud. 2 kind of maniacal women wrestlers. I always enjoy when the women's promos are like even more violent than the men. Last year, you might remember that Barb Dwyer beheaded a nurse. So, yeah, that happened. Match of the Year was Betty Red defeating Tiamat. Although I should note, in the rematch, Tiamat did win the title. The non-wrestler of the year for ladies was the Abused Fans. Gina Colada, who won the Idawa's Parking Lot Brawl title, was beating up random fans, women in the parking lots to prove he was still good. And the moment of the year was, again, Betty Red winning the first IWAR Women's World Championship. So congratulations to Catfish Rob and Wildfire Betty Red.
You're here.
So, there we go. Okay, do you want to go alphabetically, or do you want to certain...
Yeah, no, go alphabetically.
Okay, we'll do the Improved and Breakout Star Awards at the end. So I'll get that. So BBL, Bloodbath League Awards, Wrestler of the Year with 160 points. Math Jackson, who, damn you, edged out Barry Stevens. I choked, but that's okay. Math Jackson, part of the Math Club, who had a really strong year, including a final appearance by Algebra Jones in the Johnny B. Cup, even though I messed the cover up. The Tag Team of the Year, White Claw Outlaws. Mike and Derek, 80 points, 5 tag reigns, and an IWAR Tag Championship, the current tag champs. The Six-Man Team of the Year in the BBL was Lady Swine, Mr. Smith, and Corporal Punishment. So congrats on that one. The Rookie of the Year in the BBL was Joe Exotic, King of the Tigers.
Nice.
It was... I will say this was one of the more unexpected joys of the year. As someone who didn't watch a lot of that show at all, but really enjoyed the writing that was good. So fun time. Rookie of the Year, Joe Exotic. Manager of the Year in the BBL, Mike Cook, who runs the Math Club. He also runs the White Claw Outlaws. And the legendary Hasbro, who's a current UVU champion. Moving on, most popular wrestler, Joe Exotic, King of the Tigers. He's fun as hell. And then, of course, most hated, once again, back-to-back, the Litigators, which is Guilty as Al, Paralegal.
Those sons of bitches.
Them too. And litigation. Inspirational War Pig. And I want to take a moment here. Now, this is this award, War Pig won the award. He had a feud with Nate Moneyman Barnes and Nick Bloodtrap in the NWL. And those guys just murdered him. Like, straight up killed him all the time. It was brutal. And you could never beat them. And it took him 2 years and 2 leagues, but Warpig got revenge and finally got the better of him. So it was kind of a fun, like, eventual, kind of like the Tommy Dreamer Raven thing, finally beating him. Feud of the Year, Legendary Hasbro versus Barry Stevens. That Who? Was Barry. He may have heard Barry Stevens. Hey, take a name. Anyways, they feuded over Hasbro's collection of plastic toys, which of course are non-biodegradable, which upset Barry, and they've been feuding ever since. And even though Barry left the league, he did qualify for the UVU championship shot. So we'll see that feud come to an end very soon. Match of the Year, Almighty Sheik winning the UVU championship. He chased it for a long time, finally won it. Non-Wrestler of the Year, Commissioner Sullivan, who's done a great job building the BBL. Moment of the Year is the Disembowelers, who were just crazy competition this year. They, on the way out, had a final tag title shot at the UVU Tag Championship and destroyed the White Claw Outlaws on the way out the door and took the belts with them to the CWL. Holy moly. Just goes to show you, when you enter the IWAR draft, you never know what's going to happen. The Battle Royal League. And your Wrestler of the Year with 240 points, LePage Turner, the author of Agony. I like that guy. Your tag... well, I will say, for BRL, it was funny. I haven't won the BRL title in like 2 years, maybe 3 years. And then I had 7 titles this year. I was like, holy shit. But, oh well. Anyways, tag team.
Way to put yourself over, Matt.
Thanks, man.
Those guys are right about you.
I hope so. I'll pull the Chris Jericho and say, I'm happy I can give you some and help support your careers. Late Night Logan Kane and Hollywood Star were the tag team of the year. The Alos Express really did an amazing job, both with their promos, feuds, and were global and IWAR World Tag Champs. So congratulations. The Six-Man Champs, Lord Regal, Zoff Diggler, and Martel the Model repeat as the BRL Six-Man Team of the Year. Congrats to Randall. We have our Rookie of the Year, Ruthless Donnie. Kind of a fun thing. Bill the Bruiser Bagwell was a #1 draft pick, and he was inactive for a while, came back, brought in Ruthless Donnie, and Ruthless Donnie proceeded to outshine his friend, so it was kind of funny. But congrats on that. Manager of the Year, hold on, I gotta pat myself on the back. That's me,
Really? Really?
Manager of the Year, yes. By a lot, too. Mind you, the Manager of the Year, we always think about doing this. Should we make it a points-driven thing or just leave it to the people to choose? And people voted for me, so thanks for voting for me. I'm going to cherish this award for about 2 seconds. All right, next up, our most popular award.
You're just trying to suck up, Matt.
Yes. The most popular award goes to Team Meow, El Barbero, Dragon de Oro, and was Senor Lucha. Now it's Mean, the Maniac. So congratulations to Team Meow as they battled Cult of Negro. Great, fun feud. Mascara Negro is a really good bad guy. Hated LePage Turner. He was just a jerk all year long. He stole the global belts from R.A. Rude. He wants to destroy the Suburban Hill Savages. Just not a nice guy. Inspirational award goes to Dragon de Oro, who the fans rooted for. He finally broke the curse, so good on him. Now, this next award is one of my favorite feuds in a long, long time. Harlem Hamilton versus Dungeon Master Sheldon Schrute. And to give you guys kind of an overview real quickly, it involved Harlem Hamilton, the streetwise tough guy, versus the dice-throwing nerd Sheldon Schrute. And to get back at Hamilton for ruining his dice and everything else, he impregnated both Harlem Hamilton's mother and grandmother. So that's how you settle a feud. And then along came LePage Turner, who basically got them to get along, and they formed the book club. So that feud came to an end, but it was fun while it lasted. Some great, great promos. All right, so your match of the year was Punk Rock Mike defeating LePage Turner to regain the global belt. Punk Rock Mike actually holds the record for the longest reign. So can he do it again or outdo himself? Who knows? Non-wrestler of the year was Mama and Mima Hamilton. So sorry, ladies. Couldn't get you a nice engraved trophy, but congratulations. And then the moment of the year in the BRL was Ghostly Shadows, of all people, saving Team Meow, his former enemies, from Mascara Negro's attack. Ghostly Shadows has kind of been evolving this past year. Kind of an Undertaker-y type feel to him now. Becoming the senior, not senior, but like the really fearsome menace of the league. So congrats to all the winners in the BRL. Moving on to the CWL. Continental Wrestler of the Year, Gentleman Jarvis, with 235 points. A fantastic year. Came in and ran away with 4 straight league championships in a row.
Damn.
Yeah, that was impressive. I'm not bitter. Anyway, so congratulations, Gentleman Jarvis, who not only came in with a really powerful performance, racking up a gold federation as well,
right,
but promos spot on, really fantastic, in-depth, layered promos. Really great work. So congratulations, Darren. Tag Team of the Year, the Zastampowski brothers, Kenneth and Donathan, 130 points, 8 league championships, really dominant, multiple back-to-back reigns. And then the six-man Team of the Year, the Zastampowski brothers, with 135 points, 7 championships, and IWA six-man championship. Rookie of the Year, Gentleman Loomis. So Jarvis's partner, also dominant. So fantastic year by them. The Manager of the Year, Tim Clark, who runs the Zastampowski family. So Tim, Anthony, Sebastian, Kenneth, Donathan, and Matthew. Really good work, and I want to also commend Tim. His promos have gotten better all year long. Thank you for doing that stuff. Really good year for you. Most popular wrestler, Alec Von Schnapp, the big one. Most hated wrestler, Victor the Possessed Asimov. Still a holy terror, no pun intended. This year he had a really long feud with Olev's Overov. We have our Inspirational Award winner, Unleavened Bread. The dude in a slice of bread mask really, gets the fans behind him. Feud of the year, Mike freaking Mason versus Alec Von Schnapp. This was a fun feud, and it was kind of a nice. Mike Mason was around for a long time, former commissioner's wrestler, and did a great job, and we had a fun feud, even though he broke Alex's hand. But it was a fun time, so that was a fun one. Match of the year, Carson Wingate, newly drafted over from the BBL, comes in his first cycle, wins the Battle Royal, hits a 501. It was a great cycle for him, and he ended up winning the 5 Rings of Hell match. So congratulations on that. It was 10 free matches. The non-wrestler of the year in the CWL was Mr. NPC, the figurehead that took over the CWL. We don't know who his boss is. That's going to be coming into light this year. And then the moment of the year was the Disembowelers arriving and destroying the Tag Team of the Year to win not only the CWL Tag Team titles, but the IWA Tag Team titles. So they've just been a complete powerhouse thanks to Dick Peppermint, their manager. Good name, Dick Peppermint. All right, so your wrestler of the year in the IWL, the one, the only, Joe Boring.
God damn. You know what? The thing about Joe Boring, if you get Joe Boring in a big match situation, you're going to lose. This is the reality of the situation. Fantastic year for Joe Boring. Obviously, is the IWA. He just recently won the IWA World Heavyweight Championship, IWAR champion. Still doesn't have that elusive IWL World Heavyweight Championship. We'll see if you can get that done this year for him. So, but a fantastic year overall for Joe Boring.
All right, your tag team of the year, Kenneth Oblivion and Christopher Destruction.
Again, these are guys that consistently hit the title page all the time. Fantastic work. They just started TTing, so it's going to make them eligible for things like the 4-pack challenge, which they are currently in. Everything goes their way. They should be able to get shots at those commissioner championships, what they still desperately desire. So I'm very excited to see what they're going to do moving forward. And they had a great year overall. Again, those guys dominated the tag team scene in the IWL.
All right, the 6-man team of the year goes to the trio of Quailman, Pigeon Boy, and Recyclops, the Unusual Heroes.
The Unusual Heroes are always something I find fascinating. Now, I do wish they would TT a little bit more, but circumstances being what they are, I'm happy to have them in the league. And again, it's consistent. Like it's like every other cycle they're winning 6-man tags. It's really it's something to watch. It's almost like it's a foregone conclusion. So
it was a 17-cycle year. They had 12 either TV or league 6-man.
It's ridiculous. It's insane. It was completely insane.
Let's see. Rookie of the year, Firebird John Satterfield.
Firebird came in right off the bat and just made an immediate impact. TT is getting better. He's going to be eligible for all the contests. It looking like moving forward. Great year though. Won a lot of regional championships.
Yep, I agree. Manager of the year, no surprise here. The manager of Joe Boring, Marvin Moyer, Bill Bonecutter, Bob Bonecutter, and Pop Culture Peter Cross, Brad Norman. So well done there.
Brad is a unusually good player.
There's something suspicious here.
I know. He does well in every league he's in, and no matter what fed. And historically, right, Matt? I mean, you know this for sure. Historically, managers are good in one fed and not good in another, right? And I hate Jade, or I hate Iron, or I hate Gold, right? You get this. But he's good across the board. It's ridiculous. Great player.
All right, next up, most popular wrestler, The Dream, Ali Atari.
Really? He won the vote on that?
He did. Yeah, one of your favorites.
Here's the thing about Ali Atari. He's very, very oiled up. And I have a hard time understanding exactly why he's so oiled up. But to his credit, since turning babyface, again, has been the lead babyface, former IWL World Heavyweight Champion, really the face of the IWL for most of the year. I think I could say that with no hesitation whatsoever. Again, looking forward to what he's going to do next year.
Me
Get
too.
Get a towel, you freak.
I know, he's just sweaty, that's all. He's got the Mike Rotundo problem.
Is it?
He's Mike Rotundo's kid. The most hated wrestler of the year, you may have heard of this guy, Luther Alexander.
Really?
He was.
I'm shocked every time. I'm shocked when I win any of these awards. I don't think I ever deserve it. What I'll say about Luther Alexander is I'll go back to my standard answer when I describe him as a wrestler. He is a supervillain. He is Megatron. He is Bum-Ra. He is Skeletor. He is Cobra Commander. So for a guy who loses 90% of his pay-per-view matches and 90% of his feuds, still, he's still in the game, and he always will come back next time with a new plan. So it's like, I'll get you, Gadget.
Hey, man.
That's the way I built him, because I don't have historically good strats. So.
Oh, there's the guy who won Wrestle of the Year last year.
Oh, that's nice. Abnormality.
Inspirational wrestler. I think this is great because it's one of your favorite wrestlers, the Teamster.
The Teamster. This fucking guy. This man leeches off the youth of the IWA and IWAR in general. He's just a leech. Comes in, gets a couple of naive young men to do his bidding and win tag team championships. And he's gross.
It's almost like a metaphor for the IWAR. But
It
anyway,
is. We steal the souls of young children.
Feud of the year: Revolution Extreme versus The Dream, Ali Atari.
So much was put into this. I think the triple Cage of Doom match might be the most ridiculous thing that we've ever put down on paper, and that's saying quite a bit. And actually having the cage actually collapse and almost kill poor Johnny Vegas and that. But again, since the turn, Ali Atari has been target number one for Revolution Extreme, and he's faced all comers up until getting to until he got to Neo Dragon. Neo Dragon was a little too much for him, but we'll see. Hopefully that he will bounce back, and I like writing obnoxious and insane things.
That was a fun one to read. Absolutely. Match of the year: Magnum TL defeating William Worthy.
Big deal. I mean, for me, Magnum TL represents the tradition in the IWL, and I'm happy that he's getting some deserved recognition. And William Worthy, he's kind of a jerk. So.
Yeah, I will say Magnum TL last year was the most popular wrestler in the IWL, and this is a 2-year-long feud. William Worthy had the Savages started off with him destroying Magnum's motorcycle by throwing it in a dumpster.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been going on and on. He's been close and close and close, and he finally got him. And when he beat him, he retired him. So that's that. Non-wrestler of the year: Gary Spivey.
Gary Spivey of the Psychic Companions Network? What are you doing here?
Gary Spivey?
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Gary Spivey? Gary Spivey is a psychic from the Psychic Friends Network who came in to help Luther Alexander regain his confidence after a couple of jarring defeats. And he gave his life to do so. So he died tragically. Well, that son of a bitch, Ryan Patrick, they're having the Russian death match. And for those of you who don't know what the Russian death match is, it's a match that the ring is floating inside of a large pool, and inside this large pool it has piranhas and electric eels and sharks and what have you, and it's a Russian death match. Somebody's bound to die. So this son of a bitch, Ryan Patrick, who flies over the open arena, sends down Terrible Ted, who he must have used some voodoo magic to raise from the dead, and then repaired him with robotics. So now he is Terrible Ted, the cyborg bear. Came down, and if you've been following the saga of Terrible Ted versus Luther Alexander, it's very much like the Peter Griffin and the giant chicken. So anytime that Luther tends to have a big match, Terrible Ted shows up. And this is a feud that's been going on since 2013 in the NWL. So you always see Terrible Ted when you least expect it. And that son of a bitch, Ryan Patrick, brought him back from the dead, and he decapitated poor Gary Spivey. He did not, in fact, see it coming. So, but Gary Spivey's back now, though. Not dead, because that son of a bitch, Senior Lucha, brought him back from the dead using Lucha magic. And apparently, from what I understand, if a luchador raises someone from the dead, they automatically become a babyface and become Mexican. So now he is Mexican Gary Spivey.
That's right. Well, our IWL moment of the year was the Triple Cage Tower of Doom match. Atari retaining the belts over Johnny Vegas and RX in that crazy mayhem. I almost forgot that was when Noble House returned too.
That was the return. We did a lot of things there. Again, one of the more crazier match write-ups that we've done, for sure. And it is a play on the triple cage from, we saw it in World Class, we saw it in WCW, but it's very much more reminiscent to the Halloween Havoc one, the Halloween Havoc 95. The Halloween Havoc 95, where it was Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage taking on the entire Dungeon of Doom. It was Ali Atari taking on the entire Revolution Extreme.
Except Neo Dragon.
Except for Neo Dragon. He was busy.
All right. Well, I couldn't forget too. Luther Alexander also stabbed Ryan Patrick in the eye with a chicken bone. So
He did. He did. And I was in front of a Popeyes in Willowick, Ohio. So he deserved it.
He did. All right. NWL New Wave League Wrestler of the Year. It was hotly contested, right down to the wire, and with 200 points, 3 league championships, Tyler Dresden. You know you have a "You Love Tyler" T-shirt somewhere in your house. He backed up the hype, really delivered. Great performance. As a reason I drafted him in the BRL. I wanted to get him in there. He's did a great job. Tag Team of the Year, Torch and Inferno, 55 points. Really just
Torch and Inferno.
Yes, and also Torch and Inferno.
Are they the same Torch and Inferno from like 2014?
Sure. I don't know. Torch, Inferno, and Glacier were the 6-man team of the year. And the way we do it, the Rookie of the Year award is broken into 3 areas. So, for instance, we used to do it that, like, NWL Rookie of the Year, Wrestler of the Year. We do the Rookie of the Year is kind of a second place finish, but now we have the IWAR Rookie of the Year award, so it kind of gets spread around. So the NWL Rookie of the Year, Hillbilly Kevin, who hit a Willowick Classic, the Young Lions title reign. He had a pretty nasty feud with Love Burger and Love Connection, and he was a beloved hillbilly who was seemingly corrupted by his uncle and turned on the fans using his golden horseshoe to knock out bad guys or good guys. Manager of the Year in the NWL, Stephen Thompson, who manages Tyler Dresden. Congratulations, well done. He was, consistently great effort on the promos and good work with the scrums. Popular Wrestler of the Year, Fiction. I've seen a lot of players show up and do really good write-ups. I don't think maybe like 3 or 4, like Koenig when he first showed up. Tyler Dresden, but Fiction, wow, just like the promos are awesome. Just great promos you read and you feel like you're watching an episode of wrestling on TV. Fiction was a great fan favorite. Teamed up with Super Bombero and Hawaiian Heartthrob, had some good runs, had a feud with the winner of the most hated award in NWL wrestler, Big Guns Greg Gunnar. Got to say, my money was on Frankie Stachino, who kept punching women in the face, but apparently Big Guns Greg Gunnar, who was punching everybody with a steel chain, he beat up Bloodshot, Heartthrob, Fiction, Hate Clown. He had a falling out with Tyler Dresden. Just not a fan favorite guy in any way. People hate him. Someone people love, Inspirational Award winner, Mr. 305. And a little bit behind the scenes here, this player actually had to battle COVID himself, so he took time off from the game for him and his family. And he's just came back recently, and we wish him well. But Mr. 305, another character that like really jumps out of the page, fantastic, like Miami nightclub type guy, just fun promos to read. Feud of the Year, Hawaiian Heartthrob versus Super Bombero Jr. I got a little preface of this one. Bombero, Fiction, and Heartthrob are kind of a trio, and then Fiction left for the CWL. And Bombero, I think, expected to become the new lead popular face, and it was Heartthrob. And that didn't sit well with him. And that leads to our match of the year, which was the Survivor Series Betrayal, when Greg Gunnar, RX Payne, and Halloween Man were on one side, and it was just down to Bombero and Heartthrob, and Bombero turned on the Heartthrob. Just a dick move. But fantastic, led to a great feud, and a phenomenal flaming Inferno match where Bombero fell into the fire and basically was killed. So that ended. Non-Wrestler of the Year, this was a really close vote, and Dr. L won the award. Now, Dr. L leads a team of these 3 masked men, masked murderers, and it's Halloween Man, Scream, and I'm going to blank on the third one. Of course I am. But my point is that his promos started off the year with him running down to ringside. Murder, Michael Myers. So it's like Michael Myers, Scream, and Halloween Man. So anyways, he would come out and he would be like, "Get out of here! They're coming! Run for it! Run for it!" Trying to tell the fans and other wrestlers to get away because the killers are coming. And then Halloween Man would come out and he'd beat the shit out of Dr. L, chokeslam him, beat up the good guy, pile drive him. And this went on for a while. And then the reveal was that actually Dr. L was in charge, and he was snookering all the good guys into thinking they could trust him. And it was just so well done. And a fun, he did cartoons. I think you saw some of those artwork he did. Awesome. Just we are marks for artwork, especially like, hand drawn stuff. Yeah, it's just fantastic stuff. So Dr. L, well won award. Moment of the year. This was a match that really kind of like was like all the big stars at once. We had a 5-star match. It was a fatal 4-way. It started off with the 3 Young Lions championship match, and it was Frankie Stachino, Fiction, and Big Guns Greg Gannar, the champion, and then Tyler Dresden. And Fiction had the Money in the Bank, so it was like this huge, like just crazy match. Dresden ended up winning the championship, and it was just a great kind of like passing of the torch, like a lot of the best guys in there at once. So congrats to those winners. Before we do the IWAR Awards, I'll do the most improved and breakout stars.
Sure.
So most improved wrestler in the BBL was Big Daddy Cool. And what's fun is Powerhouse, Big Daddy Cool, and Razor Ramon returned to action this year. They were in the BBL for years. Powerhouse was back like when Cindy Lucha was down there in 2012, like a long time. And not only did they come back, but their promos are on fire, and they did a lot of winning. So it was great to see, 2 league titles by Big Daddy Cool, really improve from just being kind of a background player to like main event talent. Battle Royal League, similar story. Agent 26. Agent 26 is kind of the second co-founder of the Suburban Hell Savages, and struggled for a while to have like that breakout year, and this was it. Just like went nuts. Had 2 back-to-back league titles, a TV belt, regional. Really, really good job by them. Continental most improved wrestler was Alec von Schnapp, who was a runner-up for Wrestler of the Year. He went from kind of being like the third brother to main event talent, so good job. In the IWL, Jordan Drake, 145 points. He was the 4th place Wrestler of the Year race. Kind of the big first name signed by William Worthy for the Gentlemen's Club, and he's proved himself worthy of it. In the NWL, the most improved wrestler was Hate Clown. Hate Clown, kind of wisecracking, psychotic freak show clown, kind of went from a sideshow act to like legit, like, okay, this guy can do it. He just arrived with BRL and won a regional belt, so good on him. The women's most improved wrestler, Lady Swine. So she went from kind of being that third wheel in the 6-man team to like proving she belongs. Well done. And the breakout star picks. These are just people, everyone voting on who they think will be the big star in each of these leagues. So this is just people's opinions. But the BBL breakout star, Bulk Slogan. Bulk Slogan is a blast to follow. He has his crazy manager, Scarface Capone, and he is kind of a walking billboard. You really got to read the promos to really get it. I really invite you to go to BBL, check it out. Battle Royal League, breakout star winner, Love Burger and the Love Connection. The crazy guys who are all about love, romance, and insanity. I can't stress enough how much fun those promos are to read. And the Conquest Wrestling, I keep saying Continental. I'm sorry, Conquest. Liars and yell at me. He's going to beat me. Trust Fund Carson Wingate. He went from a huge star in NWL to the BBL, kind of hit rock bottom, rediscovered himself, and really, back up and running. Good job. Independent Wrestling League breakout star Dixon Ticonderoga. The crazy motormouth psychopath is showing who he really wants to be, and people like watching it. So good for him. The NWL breakout star is Tyler Dresden. This is almost a landslide. This was I think out of 18 votes, he got 16 of them. So well done. Women's breakout star pick, Lavender Fields. So those are your breakout stars. So now we go to the IWAR Awards. So these are the overall awards for all the IWAR leagues. Wrestler of the Year, LePage Turner. Just kidding. Joe Boring, of course. Joe Boring with one of the greatest strats of all time. He's also been the IWAR World Champion since September of 2019. Just phenomenal year for him. He leapfrogged his way to the top of the IWL and, really, locked away with that amazing run.
Sure did.
IWAR Tag Team of the Year, the Zastampowski brothers out of the IWL. I'm sorry, CWL. Let me fix that before I forget. Whoopsie, typo. Six-man team of the year out of the IWL, Quailman, Recyclops, and Pigeon Boy. With 150 points. I just like those names. Now, the IWAR Rookie of the Year, this goes to Hawaiian Heartthrob. Now, I mentioned before how we kind of spread out the Rookie of the Year awards by the top 3 performers. So, Hawaiian Heartthrob, IWAR Rookie of the Year, amazing feud with Super Bombero, feud with Greg Garner, and RX Payne. A good, solid babyface. Just a good job. Got better as the year went on. Came this close to winning NWL Wrestler of the Year. IWAR Manager of the Year, Brad Norman. No surprise there. IWA title, 2 Elite, 2 Metro, 2 Fed, a U.S., International, and IWA Tag Team, and IWA 6-man. So it is all over. Goatsy time. Most popular IWAR wrestler, Hot Stuff Adam Cash. Crazy year feuding with Ghostly Shadows, then a feud with Dash DeLorean, getting run over by a car, surviving. I know, run over by a DeLorean, no less.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to get run over by a car, it really should be a DeLorean. And then, fought Ghostly Shadows again to a giant respect battle. So, moving on to most hated, the most hated wrestler in the IWAR in 2020, Neo Dragon. You want to talk about that?
Neo Dragon being the most hated wrestler in the IWAR is something I think that we all expected at this point. He's a guy that has come up through the ranks over the last couple of years. And the greatest thing about Neo Dragon, if you go back and you read his TT, he progressively gets worse over time. In addition to that, the stuff he did with the little girl in Senior Lucha, was that this year? I believe this was this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this year, one of the most heinous acts that Neo Dragon has committed, he went to Senior Lucha's orphanage and took out a disabled girl that was in a wheelchair and then threw her in traffic.
That will do it.
That will do it. And being the top heel of a more active storyline league, and then also on top of that becoming the IWR World Heavyweight Champion and having the belt to kind of signify that I am the top guy and now I'm the top heel, is a really big feat, and it is something that that's an accomplishment that we all should be proud of.
I've watched Neo Dragon grow in this game from his days in the NWL.
Yeah, it did.
He had the ridiculous dragon
when
head.
When he was Japanese.
Yes,
he's not Japanese anymore. So
I forgot about that. Speaking of changing appearance, the inspirational wrestler of the year for all of the IWAR was the Chameleon. Did you talk about that?
Oh, I love the Chameleon. Chameleon might be my favorite character ever. And when we talk about the pay-per-view, we'll talk about it a little bit more. When you have a character who gets written into other people's match write-ups unsolicited, like I didn't ask anyone to do this, they just kept on putting the Chameleon in matches because it's so much fun. That's how you know you arrived and you're a key component to a league, because everyone wants to feud with you. Everyone wants to get involved in something with you, and that's what the Chameleon brings to the table here. The pay-per-view is insane.
Oh yeah,
and he's the steady stream of consciousness, and with continuity being so important. And I think I can say this, and man, I think you can say it as well. In terms of continuity, going from feud to feud to angle to angle to angle, I think the IWL is probably the best in the game.
Oh, yeah. Well, it segues very nicely into the IWAR Feud of the Year, the Chameleon versus Luther Alexander.
again, a feud that had many twists and turns, and it's really the Chameleon taking on all of Revolution Extreme, and there is a Samantha solely a sub feud and sub component here. You know, at the end of the day, the Chameleon did take the Grand Prix championship away from Luther Alexander, so he has that belt, and it goes back to him tattooing Samantha Solely's butt, unbeknownst to her, and look what happened at the pay-per-view with the wedding. So it's more of a Chameleon versus Luther and Friends type feud,
Yes.
Than anything else, because he's such a great writer to feud against, because he's with it, he's in it. Anything you throw at him, he hits it out of the park.
Yep,
and it's amazing.
Absolutely. Speaking of hitting out of the park, match of the year: Neo Dragon defeating Aleatari to capture the IWL Heavyweight Championship.
Probably, if you go back and read that match, it's probably one of the best match write-ups. I'm talking about just a pure match write-up. He wrote it to be a 5-star match, and that's exactly what it was. No shenanigans, no tomfoolery, no bears, no weird entrances, no one parachuting from the sky, no one getting set on fire. Just a straight match write-up, and it's probably the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah. Non-wrestler of the year: Samantha Solely.
What a bitch!
Oh,
she is what a heel commissioner should be, and the reason I created her was the show, the IWA at large, on how to do a heel boss appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
I felt there was people wanted it, and that's why I did it, because people kept on, they wanted a heel boss. Very, very, very Vince McMahon, very, very Eric Bischoff, right? And that's what the people wanted. And I hate the concept of a heel boss, right? I think it's dumb. But I did it in such a way where the company stays babyface. She's a heel. And to effectively do a heel boss, you can't fuck with the results of the matches, right? You can't, because that's the component of the game that we really can't touch. And if you have in real life, you have a heel boss, they would crooked referees, any kind of authority. Like, there's a lot of stuff you throw out there. What she does is she creates scenarios, like the triple Cage of Doom, like the Russian Death Match, like handing the belt back to Neo Dragon because of a disqualification. That kind of stuff, and that's how you do a heel boss appropriately. And I think that's why she has the following that she has, and plus I always put very interesting pictures of her up all the time. That's part of it. That's part of it.
Yes, and our moment of the year for the IWAR: Joe Boring dominates the IWA.
Well, I don't know what more can we say about Joe Boring. It's phenomenal. It's almost breathtaking in a way. Not to sound too melodramatic, but it is. It's like when you see someone do so well, and it really takes you aback. It's just like, wow. Like, and you every cycle, I'm like, I legitimately just expect him to be league champion in the IWL like every cycle at this point.
Yeah. He's definitely. He just joined the Gentleman's Club, and it's going to work.
Yeah, now he's a heel. We're going to see how that goes for him. Yeah. To be a heel in the IWL is going to be tough, because it's heel. The heels they have on top are really good heels. So let's see if we can out heel the establishment here a little bit.
There you go. And the final award of the evening is the IWAR Contributor of the Year, and that goes to Luke Martin.
Phenomenal. That's all I have to say, is phenomenal.
I will say that, between his promos and the match write-ups, and I always say, it's one thing to write a match, and I was talking in our pre-show about how I used to put all this time into writing matchups, and I kind of got away from it, just kind of burned out. And what's nice is you can see when you read Luke's match write-ups, whether they're his guys or not, he puts a lot of thought into them. He tells a good story. and it moves things along. And the match he had defending the Pan Am Championship against Apollo's Pain on the private island was a good read. Being helicoptered in, it just the 5-star title match, just across the board, So, Luke, thank you
Well
for
deserved. I mean, in terms of being a top guy, he's the type of person that you want in your league because he's top guy.
Yep.
If you want something to build around, to get everyone else talking, to keep everyone's interest, his TT, cycle in and cycle out, just on point. Yep. And he's very much, I put him and Jeremy together as the reasons why the IWL has done so well.
Yeah, I mean,
the past year or two. It's not me. It's not me. I'm not supposed to say it ain't me. I'm too busy thinking about what kind of stupid shit can I do.
That's right.
They keep the league grounded for sure. Neil does a fantastic job.
It really is between Jeremy's recaps with the Fahrenheit report and Luke's just the promos. The one thing I would say, Luke, is work on that font. Damn it.
You're having a hard time. You have to wear your glasses.
I'm wearing them all the time. I'm blind.
You're getting old.
Yeah. No shock there. So there's our awards.
Luke, Matt wants you to use fucking Time Romans 3.
That's
so
right.
You can read
Arial Black.
Bold.
What's the one? Comic Sans.
That's what I use for Vic Venom because it's the most obnoxious font.
It is. Dick font. So that's your winners. Thank you all who won. Those who didn't, again, these awards are our way of recognizing the effort put in by players in our leagues.
Don't vote for me next year.
The IWAR is a storyline-driven.
All about other people.
Storyline-driven type of play. So we like to use this chance to recognize those that help make it more fun for us and easier as a commissioner to work with when there's more stuff to work with. So that's that. So what's up next?
All right, Matt. Why don't you take us through what's going on IWAR Wide?
IWAR Wide. Well, the Johnny B Cup and the Murano Memorial Tag Team Tournament signups are underway. It's 3 entries per player. If you have one league, it can be 3 wrestlers. It can be one league, for 3 of the 4 IWAR leagues for an all 4. 3 singles wrestlers, and it's $3 per entry. So the more entries we get, the easier it is. It's single head-to-head competition, so it's old school, old style tournament. I'll bracket the wrestlers up. I'd like to have the brackets done by 3/16, Stone Cold Day, and the tournament starts in April. So if you want to be in it, send the IWA a note saying I'm paying $3 extra for an entry or whatever it may be, per entry for the Johnny B Cup, and then copy me on the email or send me a note so I know, and that way I can update the list and have you in there. Same in Murano. I'm also announcing that the All Rookie Cup and the Bad Company Cup are going to start their NWL exclusive event. They're going to be starting on 3/16, so those are a free event. If you're active, you're most likely going to be in it. Just make sure you promo, because that's how you get in. So there's that. Let me see here. Those in the NWL locker room, we have condensed the NWL alumni locker room with the locker room. Just players are kind of like, it'd be cool to kind of keep the communications line. So about like 35, 40 players, I think, in there now. It's just a good way to kind of keep, newer players in touch with veterans, and a lot of the veterans can help players with their strategies and kind of compare ideas. It's a great way to kind of keep the generational thing going along. Because as we always say, there's players like Alex, Luke, that came out of one generation, like in Seth, Tom, Jake, Brad came from another generation, and I could go on and on. There's like different groups of players that kind of came up together, and like Becky, Jason, Catfish Rob, just seeing the players come through as a group together, it makes a better bond as you go forward. The guys that know each other, and it really makes the game a lot more fun. So if you're in the NWL locker room, please feel free to ask questions. If you're not and you want to be, and you're an NWL alumni, or if you are in there now and you're listening, and like, I want to get in there, let me know. I'll get you in. a quick look back at 2020. I always kind of do like State of the Union type thing. So a little kind of interesting tidbit. Player count, and this is very rough, but might be off by a couple players here and there. But for the most part, the BBL has 18 players that we know of that are active. There's probably a couple more than that, actually, in the BBL. The BRL has 31, the CWL has 20, the IWL has 27, and NWL has 17. And that's not including new players. It's probably more like 22 or 23. We keep track of that because one of the things about the IWAR leagues, the IWAR network, is that we have a lot of players who play in just one league, or maybe two, but mostly a lot of one league players. And we appreciate those folks because you really make a good effort to enjoy the game, make it better for us. As a whole this year, IWAR-wise, kind of to give you an idea, let me see here. Okay, so by card activity, the BBL started with 46 cards, finished with 63, averaged 69. So, good on them. BRL started with 132, finished with 149, averaged 178. So we took a bit of a dip. CWL, 65, finished with 57. It's in a rebuilding phase. And NWL started with 87, finished with 96. So just trending the right way.
You didn't hit the IWL.
Oh, it didn't? IWL had 100. Now it has 2 cards. Oh, it's 112 cards. Averaging 103. So, and we said in the pre-show, the thing that impresses me about the IWL is that activity in IWL, there's no gimmick package of $15 gets you 50 matches. It's all
I give you nothing, and you like it.
Nothing. He's a cheap prick.
I give you absolutely nothing, and you guys still come.
Actually, the one thing you do get in the IWL is you get the 2-for-1 Battle Royal entry.
And they make me give it to you. I don't want to give it to you. Just like the IWA wides that I didn't ask for that they put me in.
Oh, like international stuff?
I'm in the international, yeah. I don't care.
You cheap bastard.
But that's the whole branding strategy of the IWL is no gimmicks needing. No IWA credit, no match deals. We don't need it. We're that good.
Yeah. And I will say this, the peak for the year for the BBL hit 88 cards, the BRL hit 205, CWL hit 89, IWL hit 137, and the NWL hit 243. So NWL, once it gets going, gets really cranking with activity. So it'll be back up soon. Just a good, strong year overall. We're on the right track. BBL is getting stronger. CWL is getting stronger. As the new players come in, we have a lot of things going on for them. So the people that are in the NWL right now, there's probably about 10 of them that'll be transferring out in the next 4 to 5 months. And as that happens, if they come to the IWAR leagues, that's great. If they don't, that's fine too. I always say that, you're welcome to go where you want. We always suggest you check out the game as a whole if you want to go somewhere, see what you're looking at to go into, and for a few months, see 2 or 3 bulletins, see if it's where you want to play, and if it is, go for it. And if you want to stay with us in the network, that's totally cool too. We get it either way. So let's see here. Oh, don't forget, depending how fast you turn this around, Alex, this Thursday on the 28th, we're doing the 28th Gold Strategy Workshop at 11:30 on Zoom. If you want in, let me know. The information is in the NWL locker room. I also emailed it out. It's a 35, 40-minute session. We kind of break down what happened last cycle, what we think might happen this cycle with the drops and the holds. It's a good way to kind of get a better idea of how to pick your holds. I hope it's helping players. People seem to like it. So I always say I'm not the expert in IWA hold stuff, but I just kind of help people as I can. And hopefully it makes a lot of sense.
Don't ask me. I don't track holds.
Yeah. I mean, I always kind of say, if you're
Every
running
once in a while, someone would ask me, and I'm like, it's always going to be 27-28.
That's not a bad bet. Just saying. We should also mention, of course, you're listening to this on Retro Wrestling Game Presents channel. Do you want to talk about that, Alex?
Sure, that's true. Guys, you are currently watching Retro Wrestling Games Presents. That's our YouTube channel. In addition to the IWAR Network Tubecast, which is featured here on the channel, we do have other shows that we do feature on this channel that if you're listening to this, you probably should listen to the rest of them. And if you're not, I have to ask, why not? You legitimately have nothing else to do with your time. So listen to the show, put it in the car, listen to, you don't have to watch it because it's a video. I mean, you don't have to, you can just listen to it. I don't care. We do have other shows. So first and foremost, we do have the AWA 1990 project, where we take the AWA and we rebuild it in 1990, right before they go out of business. In our fictitious scenario or imaginary scenario, so to speak, I have a bunch of money and I buy the AWA from the Ganyas. Now what do you do? Type scenario. We use Fire Pro Wrestling World to kind of represent what we're going for here. In addition to that, we do have our video game review show, which is Retro Wrestling Games Presents. And we are going to review every wrestling video game ever. That's all of them. It'd be from Nintendo, it'd be from the arcade, it could be from the Sega Master System, Game Boy, Tiger Electronic, the games, those really those Casio watches with the games on them. Sidekick. Remember Sidekick? We're gonna do a Nokia Sidekick game at some point. It's gonna happen. Tiger Engage. We're gonna review every wrestling game ever. So join us as we take that journey. And we not only review the game, but we take a particular topic and we talk about. Most recently, we talked about Kevin Nash's 1995 title run. So it's a good time to be had by all. So please check out the channel. In addition to that, don't forget, in the description in this video, there's an Amazon. We are an Amazon affiliate, so you don't do nothing extra. All you gotta do is click the link when you go and purchase Amazon products. And we get a small kickback, and I just reinvest that back into the channel. It would be for additional games, additional equipment, and what have you. So if you're looking for a way to support us and what we do on the YouTube channel, that's a good way to do it without spending any of your extra money, because money is tight, and I would feel funny asking for like a Patreon or something stupid like that. So just keep that in mind, guys.
No, I always tell people all the time, it's a fun time. And also, please feel free to comment. I saw someone comment in our last show about the Paul Orndorff Van Vader fight. And he was like, "Arr!" And that's fine. We want to hear people's opinions, and we'll talk about Van Vader at some point, I'm sure.
See, we're going to do a whole show on Van Vader. He's a very important cog in what we're doing in the AWA 19 project. So,
I always say that Van Vader was like the perfect villain. Remember that Ric Flair match at Starrcade?
Oh, it was amazing.
Just amazing. And Vader, was just so like. We talked about this on the show about how, like the Moondogs, like there's wrestlers that you need to look at and just be afraid of, like, holy, they're going to kill me.
We do like 30 minutes on the Moondogs.
We sure did.
So if you're into like deep cuts, you're into, people talking about wrestling that no one else is talking, no one's doing no 30 minutes on the Moondogs. It ain't happening. And it's not happening anywhere else. You're not going to any other channel and you're going to be like, hey, listen, we're going to talk about the Moondogs. We're going to talk about Global Wrestling Federation. We're going to talk about, the Destruction Crew. And we're going to talk about Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe, Matt Riley's favorite wrestler. That's just the reality of the situation. That's what we do.
Sure is.
Everyone talks about like Hulk Hogan and shit, right? There's a lot of people doing modern shows talking about AEW and what's going on, and hey, the WWE network just got sold to Peacock. That's weird. They sold it for $1 billion. Like everyone talks about that shit. I want to talk about how good fucking World Order versus Davey Boy Smith was at WrestleMania 7. That's a dope fucking match.
It is.
All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. Now we're going to split this show into two. So you get double your money this week, which is free. So double of free is nothing. But you're gonna get two shows this cycle. So we're gonna come back maybe in a day or so from when this releases, and you'll have another show going league by league, the actual cycle in review. I'm going to talk about the IWL pay-per-view. We're going to talk about all the happenings going on in the IWAR. So come on back in a couple of days. That video will be up shortly. I don't want to make a 3-hour video for you guys because I think that's insane. Fantastic. So for Matt Riley, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.